it's Alicia here from Alicia Jones Healthy Living, and for over 14 years I've helped transform the health and lives of women over 50 through fitness and weight loss strategies. And today we're talking about the 2 simple strategies to combat belly bloat during perimenopause and menopause. This also applies to you if you've been trying to lose weight during perimenopause and menopause, but no matter how healthy you eat, no matter how much you exercise, no matter what you do, the scale goes way up and way down, and one day you feel great and the next day you feel like you've got a pooch. Well, this also applies to you. So the formula to reduce belly bloat and to reduce belly fat during perimenopause and menopause, that changes drastically from when you were in your 20s and 30s. It's not the same. So for many women that are still trying to apply those strategies that they did in their 20s and 30s, they're not going to get anywhere. And in fact, not only do they not get anywhere, but they feel really discouraged because they either gain more weight or they don't budge. They're just in the exact same place and feeling exhausted and tired and defeated. It's time to specifically adapt the way you eat and exercise to your hormone levels. And while you may know that you need to eat and exercise to balance hormones, what's less talked about or less known is that you've got to eat and exercise to meet your hormones where they're at. What I mean is, yes, absolutely, you've got to balance hormones in order to release belly bloat, release belly fat, and to increase your energy, strength, and health, absolutely. But even when you do balance those hormones, you are dealing with a new hormone level, a new low. And oftentimes, women do not meet those hormones where they're at. They're continuing to try and do strategies that they did in their 20s and 30s, but you're dealing with a whole new estrogen level, for example. You're dealing with a whole new hormone series and palette. So you've got to adapt your exercise and your nutrition to meet the new hormone levels where they're at. That's when you begin to live in harmony with your body. The bloat is released. Belly fat is released. You increase your energy, you sleep better, and you feel really, really healthy. That's where the magic is. So today, we're not going to talk about how to balance the hormones. That's in the next few videos. What we're going to talk about is how to meet your hormones where they're at in order to specifically lose that belly bloat. So here are the 2 strategies to combat specifically belly bloat, but I bet you they work to make you feel like you're also losing belly fat, if that is a main goal for you. The first one is reduce your sodium levels. Super simple, am I right? Estrogen and progesterone levels, they affect water retention. So in perimenopause, for example, when your estrogen and progesterone they're unbalanced, they're going up and down all over the place, it explains why one day you're feeling great and the next day all of a sudden you feel really bloated and your pants are feeling really tight. Then in menopause with the low estrogen levels, what you're looking at is an increase in sodium sensitivity. That means that you're more sensitive to the levels of sodium that you have in your body, causing water retention, right? The more sensitive you are to sodium, the more you retain water. The less sensitive to sodium you are, the more you're able to have as much salt as you want, and you're able to excrete it. There's no issue there. Your body can balance out the amount of sodium and the water retention that would be caused from sodium. In menopause, this is a time when you want to be extra careful with sodium, because with that water retention, not only does it cause belly bloat, but it also causes an increased risk in heart disease, right? You're basically creating more pressure inside of your arteries by that water retention, and it is the last thing that you want for your heart. The solution is simple. Reduce the amount of sodium that you take in for 1 whole week and record how it makes you feel. See if there's a difference. Are you less bloated? Do your rings fit easier? Do your shoes fit looser? Is your blood pressure gone down? If your blood pressure drops by 10% or greater when you've done a low sodium diet, that means you are sodium sensitive. So even in the past, if you were never sensitive to sodium, you never felt like you were retaining water, now that things have shifted, now that the estrogen levels from menopause have shifted, you are becoming sodium sensitive, and it is so important to cut the sodium out. Not only to combat belly bloat, but also to make sure that your heart remains healthy. As a general guideline, reduce your sodium to 1,500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams per day. All you have to do is look at all of the labels before you eat a food and see how much sodium is in the food. Write it down and then see, did you meet the 1,500 to 2,000 in one day? And then how did it make you feel? Okay, and number 2, you're going to impact digestion. That's right, you're going to impact digestion. During perimenopause and menopause, you may have noticed not only belly bloat, but stomach issues that you never experienced before, or you did, but only every once in a while. We're talking about constipation. We're talking about if you have IBS, then those symptoms flare up. All of a sudden, you're getting the symptoms more and more, which might be diarrhea. It might be pain in the bowels, discomfort. We're talking about anything that makes that stomach bloat and bloat. Decreased estrogen and progesterone levels, they change your digestive system. Gut motility, or the speed at which food moves from the esophagus all the way down and out your body, that changes. That slows down. The simple solution is a combination altogether of cardio, fiber, and water. So you know when you do cardio, your heart contracts and relaxes, obviously, right? Well, much like your heart contracts and relaxes during cardio, the same thing is happening with your intestines. They're contracting and relaxing, which is pushing food through your body. It's increasing gut motility. Not only that, but it's also reducing your risk of certain cancers, especially colon cancer, as it's pushing all of the toxins through your body and eliminating them. So it is such a powerful tool. If you couple that with fiber, which also helps to reduce belly bloating, it helps eliminate and excrete any of the food that may be stuck in your system due to lower gut motility, then you are good to go. Specifically, look for dark leafy greens, look for high fiber foods such as beans and lentils. These are very high in fiber. Make sure that you're drinking water when you have fiber, because while it can bulk up the stool, you want to make sure that that stool is soft and it's going to pass freely through your body. So fiber has got to come with water, and add in some cardio, and it's a perfect combination. Of course, if you have IBS, then the foods that might trigger you are going to be so much different than for somebody else. Take it from somebody who has IBS. I totally know that the foods that work for me do not work for you or for somebody else. A good place to start, though, is a type of fiber called psyllium. This is supposed to be gentle for IBS people, so people like me and you if you have IBS. And at the same time, it also helps reduce belly bloat. Studies show that it can reduce belly bloat. So it's a great fiber place to start if you're looking for a specific fiber source. If you have not been eating a lot of fiber, this is something to be very careful of. You've got to slowly and gradually increase your fiber intake. Otherwise, too much too soon without your body being used to it can actually increase belly bloat. So take it one step at a time. And my ultimate motto is to record it, food log it, so that you can see what you're doing and you can hold yourself accountable and make small and simple adjustments as you go along. So by adding in these two simple strategies, you're actually meeting your hormones where they're at. So you're going to live in harmony with your hormones by doing these two things, which can drastically decrease your belly bloat and make you feel like you've got a flatter tummy. Okay, so now that you know how to combat belly bloat, it's time to meet your hormones where they're at to combat specifically menopause belly fat. For more motivational fitness and nutrition tips to make 50 and beyond the healthiest and most vibrant years of your life, visit AliciaJonesHealthyLiving.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.